Let's bring in NBC's news analyst, Clint Watts, a former special agent with the FBI. Clint, good morning to you. Nice to see you this morning. Do you find it striking that we still do not have a name? This shooting happens on Wednesday. It's Saturday morning. His picture has been out there for days. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it is curious, but I would say that, remember, the shooter went to great steps to really plan this out. I think he did an enormous amount of reconnaissance. And in terms of the evidence, he's tried to hide evidence. That's different from most of the shootings that we see where investigators can quickly move on to a suspect, identify lots of pieces of evidence, and then put the crime together. That's why usually it's 24 hours or less that we see them apprehended. This individual went to great lengths, and other than the one mistake he made of pulling his mask down in the one photo, there's not much there. Separately, that may not be enough to really match against any other photos. It may not be other photos out there of this individual. And then separately, just the public may not know this person. He may not have shared his thoughts about the plot. So all of this, when you look at it, the NYPD and FBI are doing a great job incrementally getting more evidence and building the case and tracing his movements. I think that backpack, if it turns out to be the backpack, the one that was found in Central Park, will be a crucial piece for the next steps.
So, Clint, despite suspicions, we don't have a motive officially yet, but obviously this is raising a lot of questions about corporate CEOs of public companies, of healthcare companies, insurance companies here, and their security. What would you advise those companies and those corporate executives should be doing right now to protect themselves?
Two parts to this, Peter. One is what we would say is a vulnerability assessment. When are executives or senior leaders of these companies vulnerable? As you saw, moving from in-person to virtual, that's looking at vulnerabilities right now. There are a lot of people that are really expressing their emotions against these industry leaders, and so you want to make sure you take them out of those public places. The second part is what we say is a threat assessment. The threat has probably never been higher. This is really tipped off a contagion of threats likely, and people that are being emotional about what they think in terms of the healthcare industry. When you look at those threats, I think the next part is to look at which ones are actually talking about mobilizing to violence or moving towards violence or advocating violence. Very similar to methodologies that would have been used a decade or 2 decades ago in counterterrorism. You have to splice out where the vulnerabilities are and then also identify what are the legitimate threats that might emerge on each of those targets.
Clint Watts, appreciate your time and expertise this morning as this continues.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.